Yo, what's up, guys? Starting the morning off. Just got out of the shower. Doing a little bit of the day in the life, but later on today I'm gonna be dropping some serious sauce on some follow-up tips and just overall setting framework that has allowed me to maintain having over maintain having a 100% show up rate on my closing calls this week. I made some tweaks and adjustments to some of the messages I send out to the prospects between the time that I actually set them and actually what time the closing call is. So I'll be sharing some of those, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about what exactly I say whenever a prospect on my setting call says that they don't have time to talk or they're busy. And on top of that, I'll be going over later today what to say when you have a not necessarily like pushy prospect, but someone that says during the call like, how much is it, what's the price of the mentorship, blah blah blah, and just different reframes to overcome those, because those aren't necessarily objections, but those are questions that you need to be prepared to answer as a setter. And probably one of the worst things you could do as a setter is give the price point up on the setting call, right? So I'll be going over reframes for that, but in the meantime, I'm going over to pick up Lisha, and then we're gonna go to church. As you guys can tell by my jersey, it's Super Bowl Sunday, so at church today we gotta wear our favorite jerseys. That's kind of like the theme today. So starting off the morning blessed, thankful, and I'll see you guys soon when I pick Lisha up. Anything to say on this beautiful morning?
We're going to church right now.
Yeah. Heading over to church. If you guys aren't opening up your door for your girl, then you're doing something wrong, bro. So, heading over to church right now, and stay tuned for that sauce I'm about to drop right now. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go over the text message I send over to my prospects the day of the closing call. So I noticed that whenever you send the text, usually what I did in the past was just say like, all set for the call today at for example like 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever. I wouldn't like say anything after that, but I tweaked it a little bit the past 2 weeks to all set for the call at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, comma, and then I say thumbs this up to save and confirm your spot, right? So the reason I say that is so that I could get some sort of message back, usually instantly too, because if you say like save and confirm your spot, then they're like, damn, like if I don't confirm it, this dude like might cancel the call, right? But I also have gotten in the habit of, because this past week I had 100% show up rate, so I didn't have to do it for any of my calls. But the weeks before that, what I've been doing is if they don't confirm it within a few hours of their call, I'm just going to cancel their call. Because whenever your prospect cancels your call, it lowers your status. That's basically them saying that they didn't even have time to like make for you. And they're the ones with the problems and you're the one with the solution. So if you're the one actually like canceling the calls, if they don't show up before they even get to cancel it, that just raises your status so much, showing that you don't really care if they get the sale or not, right? So that's a little tweak I've been making in my messages to the prospects who I book a day out. Another thing is I'm not booking more than 2 days out at a time. So if it's Friday, for example, the latest I'll book them out is Sunday. I won't book them after that. So I do my best to get same day appointments and next day appointments because that automatically increases your show rate within itself. All right, so I always want to make sure that you have slots open the day of, and then especially for the super warm prospects too, you'll be able to tell by their conviction on the setting calls as well. So that's pretty much my my message I send out between the time I set them and between the time that the closing call is, and then getting into some questions that come up a lot for setting calls is whenever a prospect says that they don't have time to talk right now, a thing that I say to like reframe it and overcome it is just like, yeah, I got you, man. So you could add a bit of humor to it. Just be like, yeah, I got you, man. I got a call in like the next 5 minutes. We could get started now. We'll be done then. But I guess I should start by asking, like, how long have you been doing XYZ for? Like, whatever your business model is, how long have you been doing that for? So you get straight into it. This is going to overcome it. And then as soon as you overcome the first 10, 15 seconds of that call, it's smooth selling from there, right? So you need to be able to overcome that initial question right away and make it sound smooth so that, because if they answer the call, man, like, they have time to talk to you. They're just lying, right? So just get right into it, overcome it, act like it's nothing, and then get right back into your question, your framework. Okay, I'm not going to talk too much about actual questions I asked on the setting call. That's really all up to you guys. Just depends on your offer. I feel like setting calls are more logistical. You just kind of want to understand where they're at right now, what they currently do, how much they make on average, just stuff like that. And then obviously the biggest thing too is financially qualifying them. When I financially qualify them, I double check them too as well. Once I figure out their range, what their budget is for any sort of mentorship, for actually investing into their skill set, I say, is that something you currently have right now, or is that something you have to save up for? And especially dealing with B2C offers, you might be dealing with a lot of younger prospects. So you really have to weed out the fishes that don't have the money to actually invest in. So by asking that one little question is going to weed out a lot of the answers of like, oh yeah, I would invest into something like that for that amount. I just don't have it right now, right? Because you don't want to waste your closer's time, right? That's lucky, like, messed up. So as a hybrid setter and closer, I'm doing both, right? So I don't want to waste my time, and whoever is closing, right, you don't want to be wasting their time as well. So that's a huge question you could ask as soon as you're done financially qualifying them. And then usually if I find out that they don't have a job, they don't have any side hustle sources of income, I go into financially qualifying them right away. I don't even ask them the rest of the questions, right? Because obviously if they don't have anything going on, they probably don't have enough for the actual mentorship too. So that's another key tip I'd give as well. And just taking authority on the setting calls. I feel like you don't have to have too much like crazy tonality on your setting calls as you do on like closing calls and stuff. So it's more about just asking the right questions and then kind of just going from there. If that makes sense. But yeah, I just hopped on a setting call with one of our new prospects that just filled out an application, and call was going super good. And then he mentioned the fact that he had it in cash when I actually came to like financially qualifying him. And I just noticed that you have to be able to pick up little stuff like that as a setter, because you obviously don't want to book the call with your closer if your prospect only has cash, right? That doesn't make any sense. So I end up having him check with his mom to see if she'd be able to process the investment, because he only has it in cash. So he'd basically give her the cash and then have her use the card, because he said that he doesn't have any banking system set up. So as a seller, you have to be able to notice stuff like that. And also you could tell by like the tone in their voice when you actually financially qualify them, to double check to make sure they even have the money in the first place, because you don't want to be wasting your time, nor do you want to be wasting the closer's time. So just a little key tip as well. I know I mentioned it earlier, but something to really focus on as a setter that'll take you to the next level when it comes to actually being able to be respectful of your time and your closer's time as well. Yo, what's up, guys? Super Bowl Sunday. We got family watching the game right now, but wanted to give you guys a quick update on kind of how the day went. So I ended up doing 2.5K cash collected, which equated to about 375 commissions because I'm hybrid. So I ended up taking 15% for each close. Getting back to some of the stuff I was saying earlier, I know earlier I mentioned what I say whenever a prospect is saying that they're too busy or that they don't have time. The other thing I wanted to brush up on for you guys is knowing what to say whenever your prospect is consistently asking what the price is. One thing to know with this, guys, is especially as a setter, my bad, the lighting was tweaking. One thing to know about setting is that your price point is your biggest leverage that you could give your closer, right? So you want to do everything in your human power to not even give a sort of price range. Price range is more so like my last resort. But for example, let's say a prospect asks me how much when I financially qualify them. Let's say they ask me, they're like, how much is a mentorship or how much is a one-on-one? I say, yeah, I got you, bro. So there's really no right or wrong answer. We just kind of want to see where you're at right now, see if we can even help you out. But let's say everything does look good, everything is making sense from your end, and you really do feel like we can help you get to 10K a month, 20K a month, however much money they said that they want to make. Let's say we can help you get to making 10K a month consistently. How much would you be comfortable investing into a mentorship like that? And that'll clear up, pretty much like reframe the whole scenario to make sure that they are able to give me some sort of budget, some sort of financial qualification, and doing that is going to help you overcome that quite easily. It's been working for me very well. Let's say they are very pushy for some reason. You could just go ahead and give them a price range. For example, you could say like anywhere from like 1 to 5K we're talking about, and then let's say they're asking for like a very specific price point. I just tell them that we don't go over price point on this call because we're not even sure if we can help you out yet. But we go over everything on a longer call, which would be the closing call eventually, right? So that's the little reframe I make for my closing calls whenever a prospect is asking me for the price point. And on top of that, when it comes to giving some more tips of advice that I could give you guys when it comes to making sure that your prospect on the setting call actually shows up to the closing call is would just have to be letting them know that there are only a few spots left, so it's very limited, to add more urgency to my calls. So that's going to make it seem like it's very scarce. So if they don't end up showing up to the call, basically letting them know that they're not going to get another opportunity like this, right? So that little question and tweak, not necessarily a question, is more so a statement. Just because we do have a bunch of applicants coming through and we only have a few more spots left to work one-on-one with so-and-so, we just want to make sure 110% sure that you could show up to the call on time. Are you 110% sure that time on that day works for you? Yes? Okay. And then you go ahead and book them in, right? So just doing that little tweak is going to add more urgency to your calls, which eventually is also going to increase your show rate. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I know this vlog was a little bit crazy, but just wanted to show you guys what a day in the life for me looks like and some tips that I've been using to actually increase my show rate. But hope you guys like the content so far. I look forward to keep posting you guys, keep you guys posted with what I'm currently got going on, because really growing right now in my skill set. And if you guys need any piece of advice, feel free to hit me up on Instagram, shoot me a DM. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your guys' questions. And in the meantime, if you guys could drop in the comment section what type of content you guys want to see next, I'll be more than happy to walk you through some closing framework, objection handling, whatever the case may be, so that I could help you guys along with your setting, closing, or if sometimes some of you guys might be doing both, like me, hybrid setting and closing. So just let me know. I'll be more than happy to let you guys know on some of the stuff that's been working for me, so that hopefully it can work for you guys as well.
Yo, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a blessed night. Chiefs got whooped really bad. But hey, still had a great commission day. So that's all that matters. I got 3 more calls tomorrow, closing, and then I'll probably do a bunch of setting tomorrow for some of the newer prospects that come in. But I hope you guys have a blessed night. Make sure to drop a comment of whatever type of content you guys want to see in my next future videos, so that I could keep providing as much value as possible for you guys. If you're setting, closing, I don't care. I have experience with both, so don't be afraid to drop down some comments of what you guys want to see next. But other than that, appreciate you guys for watching. God bless you guys and have a blessed day.